Hey guys. Okay, there's a delay. Good morning, guys. Can y'all hear me? Don't go in there. Thank you. Can y'all hear me? How are y'all doing this morning? Javi, good morning. Welcome in. You speak Spanish? Concerning people, good morning. Dude. Morning. Welcome in. Welcome in, KP. I don't know that language, Javi. How are y'all doing this morning? Sad Rabani. Good morning. I do have a couple of things that I do speak. I have a son that's Spanish. Not much, though. I am. I'm from the U.S. Where are y'all from? I was not ready. Jesus Christ, What's up? Not many people use this. I have my days. I wear it sometimes, but I don't have to. If I do, it's for me. Mexican. $19 years old, Debbie. Well, maybe you'll get some messages here that'll help you through your journey of life. Wish I would have had these messages when I was 19. But everything happens for a reason. So how are you this morning? I'm in West Virginia. Where are y'all coming from? Jovi, I have a son that's in the military that's Spanish. No. White and Spanish. I'm doing good. Got a lot of rest yesterday. Much needed. Masahe banana. Did I say that right? My first husband tried to teach me, but I learned very slowly. Lo siento mucho. I learned that one from my husband. Genie Air Comfort Cooling. Hi there. How are you? Okay, are you guys ready to see what you need to know? What does my collective need to know? What do they need to hear right now? What do they need to hear right now? Had a fall. Dad's waking up. We have a Queen of Cups. Simon Surfrayo. Hi. Hi, Chica Philippines. Welcome in. Yes. Yes, concerning people. I read tarot. Yes, it is actually to help me. Hold on a minute, guys. Okay. Yeah, actually, I was led to tarot 10 years ago. I went through something really hard, and I just looked at the sky and asked God what was wrong with me, and He used tarot to show me. I've done a lot of healing through it, come a long way. Concerning, if you're still here after the reading, yeah, I'll do a one card, one question for you, and what's on the bottom, if you want. All right, are we ready to get started, guys? We're starting off with the Queen of Cups. Now, this can be masculine or feminine. But she's got her cup closed. So it's, you know, representing you all have your heart blocked off, but you're also guarding yourself because of what you've been through. And you've been through so much that you don't want to offer this cup to just anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you've been with the manipulative type, the people who've taken your energy, the people who have taken your mind, I mean, maybe your mind, taking your energy, your time, your finances, you know, maybe just lustful, wasn't there for the right reasons, and you really got hurt over it. So you have your cup closed now. You may not be even thinking about or wanting a relationship right now. You may be more focused on yourself. The Queen of Cups, she's gotten her emotions balanced. Like, she's been through a lot, but she's gotten her emotions balanced. And that's male or female, because we all have feminine and masculine in us. Our feminine is where our love and nurturing and kindness and wanting to take care of another comes from. And our masculine is where, you know, we take action on things, and we put up healthy boundaries. We don't allow people to treat us disrespectful. You know what I mean? And we stick to that. And we're hard workers. We go after what it is we want. So, yes, be very discerning on who you give this cup to, because it's not their responsibility. And I know that's hard to hear. I have to take that too. But why did you trust in your past to not pour this cup of love out and stomp all over it and crush your heart? You know what I mean? What in you? So, like, what inside of you made you accept an offer from somebody that didn't deserve it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's trust issues, abandonment issues, feeling like you're not good enough. And I've been there, so I'm not judging anybody. I've been there recently, been there too. But, you know, you're worth more than you allow yourself to see. And I think you're starting to see it now, because this cup is closed. She's not offering it. If you're married, I think that your marriage has gone through, you know, quite a lot. And you guys are closed off right now. And you know, you need to get back to the way things used to be. Remember why you met in the first place. You know what I mean? What about them, you know, called to your heart at the beginning? It's somewhere along the line it's turned toxic concerning. And that's just because both of you have carried burdens from the past into this relationship. And even if you didn't want it to happen, they played out in the relationship. So things that make you angry or make them angry are triggers for you to look in yourself and see why you're being triggered. most of it comes from like childhood. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that most of it comes from childhood, some from your younger years, but most of it from childhood, where you didn't feel like you were enough, or you couldn't trust the authority figures around you, or you felt abandoned and left out. And that plays out in your relationships. Yes, it actually does. Your relationships come in to teach you something about yourself. You know what I mean? That's why if you're pointing a finger at somebody, three are pointing back at you, because you have to start with you. So what you want in that marriage, start giving that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, start with the man in the mirror. Start working on you and your wounds. I had to learn that, because when I first started this journey, I didn't even know I had wounds. I didn't even know I had trust issues. I didn't realize that it was playing out in my relationships. So if you feel like you're not enough, you become an overgiver. You know what I mean? And that was one of my problems. I became an overgiver. You want everybody to be happy. You want to take care of them, but sometimes you got to let them figure it out for themselves. And that's a hard thing to do, because I care about people, and it's really hard for me to let go of people, but I've noticed that I have to let them figure it out for themselves. I can lay the wisdom and the knowledge at their feet, like I'm doing with you guys right now, but I have to let you all decide whether or not you want to pick it up and use it. And if you have trust issues, that's going to play out in your relationship. And it could be, they might not even be doing anything wrong. They might just be holding something back, like holding an emotion or a feeling back. But you can sense that something feels off, that something doesn't feel right. So our minds as human beings automatically go to, they're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy you're feeling more than you're feeling anything else. We could be accusing somebody of something and maybe they're not even doing it. They're just holding back an emotion. Say she's had trust issues with authority figures when she was younger. Then, the people around her that were supposed to protect her didn't. You know what I mean? And they may have been the ones hurting her. So she has to identify that within herself. You know what I mean? Those trust issues. Unless you're giving her a reason, and I'm not saying you are, but unless you're giving her a reason not to trust you. And concerning, it could also just be that you're holding emotions back, you're holding feelings back, not communicating. Maybe maybe you need to open up and communicate how you feel, communicate, what's going through your mind. Because sometimes communication can help a lot. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a communications block. Like, you're not communicating. At the end of the day, though, no matter what, you've got to know your worth. You got to know your worth. And I say that, you open up and you speak about what's bothering you, and, communicate without getting angry, without fighting, communicate in a mature way, and communicate what is happening that's hurting you. You know what I'm saying? And if a person doesn't care or isn't willing to work with you, like, you could say, even if you're doing nothing wrong concerning, okay, you still have to work on you. We're going to be working on ourselves to the day we transition from this world. But even if you're doing nothing wrong, you still have to find something inside of you to work on, because that will raise your vibration. You know what I'm saying? Because if you've done nothing wrong and she has, and she works on herself and you don't, you're still not going to be on the same page. So both of you have got to sit down and agree, okay, well, I have this habit of not communicating because my daughter does this. She doesn't communicate her feelings, and then she expects her partner to read her mind, you know what I mean, or know what's going on with her. And you got to communicate. And several times it's been that she hasn't communicated to her partner. And once she did, then he started working with her to make the changes. So you can communicate, you can tell her, well, maybe I don't communicate enough, maybe I don't open up and tell you how I feel. And maybe, that's what makes you not trust me. Maybe I can work on that, and maybe you can work on trusting more. You know what I'm saying? It's a partnership. You both got to work on it. Well, you're accepting a responsibility, so that's a good start. That's a good start. But she also has to work on herself, though. You both do. And then you've got to work on the relationship together. And you can't be codependent on each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to come a time when both of you are going through something and neither one of you can be there for the other because you're working on your own stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you're each separately going through something different. So you've got to work on you before you can give that time and attention and nurturing to her. And same vice versa. And, just because you're having problems in a marriage doesn't mean you should just give up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should do what you can to try to make it work. And maybe it's just opening up and communicating more to her and not leaving her in her head and feeling ghosted. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes if we get left in our head, I'm bad for this. If you get left in your head, then your mind goes all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that. We can imagine the worst when there isn't the worst. It's not about being a quitter concerning. It's not about being a quitter. I don't think you're a quitter. I think that you might need a little bit of guidance. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to quit it. I'm not saying you're going to. You're here because you're trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And sometimes people come into our lives to teach us something about ourselves, and they're there for a season for a reason, but they're not meant to stay. And I'm saying this from personal experience. I'm not a quitter either, but I've learned that, some things are so toxic that they'll take you down. And God, divine source, doesn't want you stuck in something that is draining you constantly. And I'm not saying that's for you. I'm just saying, there comes a time in life sometimes where we have to choose us rather than choose someone else. And that was very hard for me. Choosing myself above other people was something that was very, very hard for me. I mean, I got called selfish and cruel and you name it. But at the end of the day, I had to choose me. I had to choose my own happiness. SMEFC, welcome in. I am that I am. We might do some one card, one question readings with the, what's underlining. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so that was a lot for one card. The second card is teamwork. And concerning, that's what it's going to take for you and her to make it work, is teamwork. You're going to have to work together. Maybe, look toward a guide or a teacher, or, maybe you can even take something from this and take it back and you guys can talk about it, and maybe, you can work through it. I hope that you can. I pray that you can. But teamwork. So these people are looking at this person. They're learning from this person. They're paying attention to what this person is saying. Oh my goodness. My throat's drying up. Give me a second, guys. Sometimes trying to stop me from talking. Okay. So they're paying very close attention to what this person is saying. This person is wise. They've learned a lot. They know a lot. Also, this could be teamwork, like people are collaborating together. You know, you've got the leader and you've got, you got the helpers. It could be that too. Just make sure concerning that's not the only thing you're doing. Okay? Try to remember back to where you all first met, what drew you to each other, the attributes about each other. You can re-spark and relight a romance in a marriage if you're willing to, if you want to. But also, okay, so this person here has pomegranates on their their clothes. And that represents that they've been too serious, having fun. They need to go out and enjoy themselves and have some fun and let their hair down. And concerning, maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to bring some fun back into it, some playfulness. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can get lost in love sometimes, though. You know what I mean? Well, I have. I've got lost in it. I've loved someone so deeply that I've let them just treat me however. So you got to be careful with that too. But make sure you add some playfulness to it, because it may have become too serious. You know what I mean? Go out and do things. I mean, you don't got to go spend an expensive amount on somebody to go do something. You can go out and go swimming, go fishing, go for a walk. My actual first date, we went to McDonald's and they left it up to me. We went to McDonald's and then we went to the park and walked, and I had an amazing time. This is also about getting into your creativity, your passion, your fire. What lights your spark? What kind of job, career, whatever you want to call it? What lights your spark back up? Do you paint? Have you stopped painting if you are a painter? Do you draw? Do you do music? What is it that brings your spark and your creativity back? Yes. I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying that maybe the relationship has become serious. You know what I'm saying? So try to put some playfulness back into it, maybe. If music lights you up, then do the music. I know music helps me heal. It helps me move on. It inspires me. Okay, so you have the Knight of Swords. Something's coming rushing in, and it's got a truth to it, or something may be rushing into. It could be, it doesn't have to be a person. It doesn't have to be like somebody bringing you a truth or something. It could be you bringing yourself a truth. It could be you getting out of the negative mindset. Because if we're thinking negative, we actually call that to us. It's like we're always co-creating with God, with spirit, with source. We're always co-creating. So our thoughts, you're actually manifesting your thoughts. In school, they call it spelling, right? Because it is spells. What you speak, what you think, you're actually creating it. You're actually bringing it to fruition. So try to be more positive about it. If you feel there's negative thoughts coming in, thank them, because that's an old pattern. It's an old behavior. You picked it up somewhere. But, let it set with you, and then, tell it that's not my truth. And then correct it and say something positive in its place. And I used to hear people when I was younger say stuff like this, and I would roll my eyes. But actually, I've used this and applied it to my life, and it's changed my life. Not, but over time. And after a while, I found myself saying positive things without even realizing I was saying them. Sometimes you guys will hear me, like, I'll pause before I say something because I'm trying to figure out a way to say it positive with no negatives in it. Because God, Source Divine, doesn't understand negatives. If you say you don't want something, that's exactly what you're going to get. So be very careful with that. But there's something coming in fast, and it's bringing a truth. It's bringing clarity. And it may cause you to cut something out. It could be a thought pattern. It could be behavior. It could be anything. It could be a job. It could be, something around you that you thought was stable that no longer is. It could be anything, but it's racing in. It's coming in fast. Okay, and then you have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is like holding back. You're holding back something, whether that be finances, that be money, that be your worth. You know what I mean? Your time, your energy. This truth is going to cause you to hold something back. I don't know what it is, and maybe your worth. You may hold back because you see your worth, because she knows her worth. He knows their worth. So it's also saying, don't stop the flow. Don't hold back so much and block off so much that you stop the flow, because even finances, even money, that's all energy. If you come from a place of lack, I'll never have, so I've got to hold this back. You stop the flow, you stop the energy. So then you'll get less because the energy's not moving. Yes, concerning. Find what brings back out your passion, your fire, besides her. But, this is also like Scrooge McDuck. I don't know if you guys ever watched that Christmas show with Scrooge McDuck, where he was holding back, and the past, the present, and death came to visit him. Because he was holding back his finances. He was being very tight with everything. And in the end, he ended up, changing and giving.
Hi. You go block out, I'm going around.
Oh, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure you... Yeah, I mean... You're fine. Okay, then you have the Star card. So it could be Aquarius is out there too. Well, concerning, don't do that. Don't hold back your passion, because God, Divine Source, wants you to be in your passion. They want you to follow your passions. Like even a job's not supposed to be dreary and backbreaking and all of that. It should be something you're passionate about. It should be something that you get up every day and you look forward to going and doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're going to have your days, but for the most part, you look forward to getting up and doing it. And you have the Star here. So could be Aquarius this year. I'm an Aquarius. If you are, hi, fellow Aquarius. But also, this is your wish coming true. This is divine up, and moving obstacles out of your way and lining up everything and putting it in order. This is also knowledge that you've gained. So there's knowledge that you've gained in this journey, and you need to pour it out into the earth and into the water, into the people. You need to pay it forward. I've said, I don't know how many times, we need to tell our stories. And the reason we need to tell our stories is because it lets other people know that they're not the only ones going through this. There's somebody else out there going through this. And they might have some wisdom or knowledge to help them get through it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be an Aquarius. What are you concerning? I'm an Aquarius. But she's open, she's vulnerable, and I can't show it because of YouTube, but you know, she's wearing nothing. She's open. She's vulnerable. Her heart's open. She's open, you know, she's open to receiving. You don't want to shut yourself down, because then you shut down your blessing. You're not open to receiving. So, but she's very knowledgeable and she's very in tune. He, very in tune. Libra. Okay, so you're about fairness and balance and justice. And like, you're the one that stays behind and cleans up after the party. You want to see people happy. Aries, there's the fire and the passion. Yep. Aries can bring the fire, that's for sure. What else do they need to know right now? What else does the collective need to know right now? Oh boy. All right, guys, we gotta find out, because all these came out upside down. Well, it's actually this one, then this one, then this one, then that one. Okay. I call those from the pure white divine light only. Only those from the pure white divine light are welcome. Sassicus, what are you doing? Get down. You better behave yourself. Is this card supposed to be in the reverse? Is this card supposed to be in the reverse? No. Okay. Is this card supposed to be in the reverse? No. What about this card? Is it supposed to be in the reverse? No. And this card, is it supposed to be in the reverse? No. Okay. So they went flying out. And everything reversed. It could have been the way I moved too. Okay. So next we have Aquarius Venus. I'm Capricorn Venus. Boy, SMEFC, that's got to be hard placements, because Aries is fiery and passionate and wants to go, and Aquarius is more of the rebel, and you know, we get the bad reputation of being cold and cold-hearted, which isn't true. We have a lot of emotions. Just we've been hurt so much, like we numb out, like we completely numb out. And it takes a lot for us to tap into those emotions and show them to other people. Like we have them, but we don't always show them because we've been hurt so bad. So you've got, what's your moon? What's your moon and rising, SME? And no, concerning. Having a clean environment is actually good for you. It's good for your health. The more you've got around you, the more mess that you've got around you, the messier you are inside. So there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with not, it all has its place. You know what I'm saying? Cancer ascending. So there's the love and the nurturing and the kindness. But that's also the going in the shell. So you've got two of going into hermit, because cancers like to go into their shell. They love having nice things around them. They're about home and family and nurturing and caring. And then also you've got the Aquarius, who likes to go into hermit mode and disappear. So Gemini, oh my goodness, holy cow. They call Geminis the bipolar, and that's not being mean. because they have the angel and the devil on their shoulder. And as an Aquarius, I have a thought, and then I have 10 thoughts off of that thought, and 10 thoughts off of every one of those thoughts. You have double that. Gemini. Yeah. She's got that back and forth energy. You know what I'm saying? She got the devil talking to her and the angel talking to her, and then she's got so many thoughts on both sides. It's crazy. But they're good people too. I've met some very good Geminis. Yes, they say they're bipolar, but I mean, it's going to be kind of hard not to be kind of bipolarish if you've got all that going on. Like, I'm always in my head. I'm always thinking. I'm always second guessing. I'm always in my head. So think of, and like I said, I have a thought, and there are 10 thoughts coming off of that thought, and 10 thoughts coming off of each one of those. So if you want to think about a Gemini, they have both. They have two thoughts going on at the same time, with 10 thoughts going off of each of those, with 10 thoughts going off of each of those. And it's very hard to shut the brain down. Meditation might be good for her. Okay, what? SME, that's one of the things that, the collective is challenged with right now. Don't worry about what other people think of you. You be you no matter what, because you are meant to be who you are, no matter what unique, how unique you are. You are always meant to be who you are. Don't you worry about other people's judgment. That has nothing to do with you, and more to do with how they feel about themselves. But they'll never tell you that. And some of them don't even know that. Sassicus Lucas, don't get the puppy started, please. She says you're bipolar. Okay, so if you're dealing with somebody who is constantly sporadic like that, it's going to do something to you. It is. It's going to be hard to deal with. So I recommend meditation for both of you. Just, maybe go out for a walk. Maybe just go walk together. Don't even talk. Go out on a silent walk together and just enjoy nature, because that would help ground both of you. You know what I'm saying? Alter egos. I don't know. The thing I do know about an ego is it's been trained to protect us. Like, your ego is there to protect you, because at one time you went through something hard and harsh, and at one time you really needed it. But I would not say, like, I've heard a lot of people say, get rid of the ego. Don't do that. No, we're not needing to get rid of the ego. We're needing to retrain the ego. So the ego goes by what it already knows. Hey, Squirt. Hey, baby. The ego goes by what it already knows. You know what I mean? So it has no experience with anything that it hasn't already gone through. So the way that you train the ego is that you start following your intuition, even if it don't make sense. You start following your gut, even if it doesn't make sense. And eventually the ego, it's going to say, like, I don't understand how that little white voice knows what it's talking about, but every time you listen to it rather than me, we don't run into a roadblock. It works out. So then you will train the ego to be healthier. You will train the ego, you know what I mean, that it doesn't need to protect you so much. That's the Gemini in you, SME. That's the Gemini in you. And you would probably do well with, going into nature too, or, maybe sitting by a river, or, listening to water, or maybe even getting a oh, you know them, I haven't seen them in a while, but there's old water fountains that you could have in the house where you have that water going. That would probably calm you. Always keep that childlike innocence about you, because that's what we're trying. That's not trying, but that's what we're collectively doing. We're going back to our inner child. We're going back to where, you got excited over seeing a butterfly. You had dreams, you had goals, you had things you wanted to do. You were happy. Sassicus Lucas, get down. No, thank you. Back to the childlike innocence before society and everything else came in and corrupted it. Concerning, we all do. We all do. The thing about it is, it's not about getting rid of your shadow side. It's about embracing it and loving it and understanding who it is and what it was there for. Because okay, so take a bull for instance. I have Taurus moon, so a bull in a china shop, man, that's a wreck, right? They're gonna wreck everything and break everything. But a bull, when it doesn't want to move, it's not going to move. And some people can see that attribute as, they're lazy, they don't want to do anything, or, they're stubborn, But think of how that could be in a good way. Maybe you're not moving because divine's telling you not to move yet. You know what I mean? And you're following that. And if you let other people in your head saying, move, 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 you're lazy, you're too stubborn, instead of listening to God, you may listen to them and get yourself in a hell of a mess. You know what I mean? So, but when a bull wants to move, you better get the hell out of its way because you're not going to stop it. So the shadow side plays a part in us too, and we need to learn to love that as well as we love our light side. It's a balance, yin and yang. It's a balance. Yeah, because you're connecting with nature, Esme. Nature helps you. You're connecting with nature. So when you feel ungrounded like that, try to go out in nature. I like to go out, when it's not cold out, and we're getting ready to, snow's getting ready to fly. So I'm not ready for that. But anyway, I like to go outside and take my shoes off and put my feet in the grass and just, imagining roots going out of my feet into the ground, into I imagine this big ball of red rock in the center of the earth, and roots going down into that and coming back up out of that and spreading through my body and encircling me and taking all of those energies and transmuting them. I asked Mother Gaia to transmute those energies for me, to take the negative and cleanse them and bring in the positive. And that helps me a lot too. You're welcome, Esme. Your other side is in control. Okay, so control is an illusion. We don't control anything. We control nothing. And we need to go with the flow more than try to control situations, because concerning, if you're trying to control something, it's like holding a steering wheel and not letting it move. What happens if you go down a curvy road and you're holding the steering wheel straight and you're not letting it move? You're going to wreck, right? Plus, holding that steering wheel like that, you're not allowing God divine to move it around. So release and relax a little bit and let go of control a little bit. And I've had to do that because I wanted to control everything in my life, because I was so afraid of getting hurt. I wanted to have control over everything. If I had control, I wouldn't get hurt, and that's not true. don't know about that concerning you move with not with your own will. I don't know. You have to talk to somebody that knows something about that. I don't. Okay. So next we have the Knight of Wands. Now the Knight of Wands comes rushing in. He's fiery. He's passionate. He goes after what it is he wants, but then he starts second guessing himself. So he pulls back. He's in and he's out. This is the hit it or quit it guy. You know, he'll hit it and next thing you know, he's gone. Guy or girl. But a lot of it is indecisiveness. But he's very passionate. He's very determined. And when he goes after it, it is what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, he does want it. But then he gets in his head and he starts overthinking things. And, you know, so then he pulls back. Concerning try cleansing your energy. You know, one of the cleansing rituals that I do is like when I take a shower, I ask for all the negative to be removed. I ask to be cleansed, cleared, and purified, mind, body, soul, spirit, heart. And I ask for all the negative to be removed, all the energy vampire cords to be cut, and for positive to come in. You have to always ask for positive to replace it, or anything can come in. But ask for positive to come in. And then, you know, you can do like protecting yourself with white light, you know, and not allowing the negative to come in, that it bounces off the white light and goes back to be transmuted, to be sent back to whoever, whatever it's coming from. Okay, Esme. But he's really fiery. He's really passionate. He goes after what he wants. There is, you know, a little bit of growth on here, but he's got to get out of his head. He's got to stop second guessing himself. He's, you know, he's got to rush in and work with all those doubts that come through in his head. You know, change that perception, that thought, that negative thought pattern. But also, you might want to be leery of a hit and quit it too. You're welcome, concerning. And I use white sage and Palo Santo too. Like, they even make this Palo Santo spray. And I just got it off of Amazon, and I like to spray it around me too. They call it Jesus wood. And it helps clear the air and clear things too. Because as an empath, as a reader, I deal with a lot of dark energy. You know what I mean? Like, I deal with a lot of negativity and a lot of lower energy, because a moth is attracted to a flame. You know what I mean? The dark's attracted to the light. So I deal with a lot of that. What's the name? It's just called Sacred Elements, Palo Santo. Palo Santo. I like working with this. I also burn the Palo Santo wood. It's hard to keep lit, but I burn it too and take it around in a clockwise manner around me, around my home. You can even cleanse your home that way. Like, light the wood and go around your home to the right. Open windows and doors and ask for the negative to leave, but go to the right, because if you go to the left, that's negativity. But go to the right and ask for, you know, divine white light of protection to come in. I do that stuff too. And sage is another good one. I use white sage. And then I also have a singing bowl, which I don't have with me. It's in storage, but I use a singing bowl too, because they don't like noises. So you can use a bell, or you can use, a singing bowl. High pitched sound. And other than that, if that stuff doesn't work, then maybe talk to somebody else. Maybe talk to a priest or something. Francesco, hi. How are you? Welcome in. Okay, we're going from that to feeling backstabbed and betrayed. So you felt backstabbed and betrayed, maybe by this in and out energy. You know what I mean? Then 1 minute out the next. And you have all these swords in you. Like you have no more room to put any more swords. You know what I'm saying? So backstabbed, betrayed, left for dead, abandoned, left out. But the sun is coming up, so he's going to get up, and these swords are going to fall out of his back, and he's going to pick up one of these swords, and he's going to cut out what no longer serves him, what's toxic, or who's toxic, or what job or whatever is toxic in his life. And he's going to have clarity. He's going to be clear when he does this. He's going to know, because swords are also thoughts. You know what I mean? Feeling this way. But and it could be negative thought patterns. It could be your own behaviors, your own sabotaging behaviors. It doesn't always have to be a person. It could be the way you think. Francesco, how are you today? I do not know that language. And there's red in this card too. So that's like your root chakra. That's like your work on your insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Like we have them because other people put them there. You know what I mean? Other people's thoughts and feelings about us. And we don't do what we see. We don't do what we're told. I mean, growing up, we do what we see. So the kind of lifestyle that we grew up in is the kind of lifestyle we usually end up in. You know what I'm saying? But that's their truth. That's not your truth. No, sweetheart, I don't. I think it's cool that you do, though. Okay, and then after that, we have the Five of Swords. So you've been to battle. You've been to battle. You've had a lot of people try to take you down. A lot of things have tried to take you down. Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of guys that spoke Italian to me, and I just thought it was beautiful. I loved it. Anyway, you've been to a battle, but you fought off these people. Like, they're back here stalking. And you fought them off, and you've taken their weapons from them. You've got the swords, like most of them. You left a couple laying. If they really wanted to, they could come back and take them and use them on you. But you left them sulking because they haven't, they didn't get the victory that they wanted over you. And then you end with the sun. So abundance, joy, happiness, fulfillment, you know what I mean? There's a wall back here. So there was a lot of obstacles and stuff in your path, and they were put there for a reason, because you had to look within. But you've gotten over them. You're climbing over them. Or if you haven't already, you're going to climb over them. And, you know, you have the sun, you have the passion, you have the fire back, you have the creativity back. You're grounding yourself, you're learning your worth, your self-esteem is rising. So, you know, this is happiness. You're going to feel warm and fuzzy again. We're going through a transformation. Transformations aren't easy. They can be hard. What's on the bottom? What's this all start with? Knight of Cups. Some kind of offer that's coming in that's going to make you emotional, or some, you know, something that has came in that makes you emotional, that taps into your heart again, that opens your heart again. Some kind of love offer, or it could be career, it could be something you love. I don't see a lot of pentacles on here, so I really don't think this is career. But I'm not really seeing a lot of cups on here either, and the only cup I see is this one and the one that's closed. So there's more swords in this reading than anything. So it's a lot about your thoughts. Oh, we do have one pentacle. Two sets of pentacles on here. So it may be a little bit of career, but not much. It's more in the head, more thinking rather than taking action. But I feel like your thoughts are going to get clear because of the Knight of Swords that comes rushing in. So you may have a little bit to do with career, but there is an offer of love. You know, someone or something wants to love you or open you up emotionally, but your cup's closed. You may want love and you may believe that, but your heart is blocked. You're blocked. You got your cup closed. You got your heart, you're blocking your heart. You need to open up to receiving. And concerning, we get hurt a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's an illusion that we can block our heart and stop the pain and all of that. Block your heart, all it does is stops your blessings. Because, look, I have blocked my heart. I have locked it in a box. I have locked it in a dungeon. I have put other doors in front of it and locked them with a key. I put razor wire around it and freaking guard dogs at it, and it does not matter. They still get in. They still get in. Good morning, Shelly. Hey. So it's an illusion. The guarding yourself, it's an illusion. You can't guard yourself because they're still going to get in. It doesn't matter. It's more about being discerning. It's more about, you know, you see the red flags, you know the red flags. You've been there, you've done that. You got the t-shirt, you got the trophy. You know what I mean? Like, you got the award. And it's about the experience of it. Like, it was put there to teach you the red flags, where you're overgiving and you're not receiving back, where you know, you're letting people mistreat you, you're letting people disrespect you, and you're allowing it because the pretense of love. And I'm a lover. I have a heart of gold, you know, and I give my heart too freely. You know, yeah, they have to earn your trust. Like, you have to know that you can trust them. It's not just about, you know, giving. You got to be discerning. You got to watch. But you know the red flags. And if they show up, then you got to address them. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, concerning communication, you have to address them. You have to talk about them. And if they're not willing to compromise with you, or they know that there's a pattern or something that's hurting you, then maybe you need to rethink, you know, if it's best for you. Tell you something about the cards, Shelly? What do you mean? Well, this was long reading, but we did a lot of talking too, so I guess it doesn't matter. Hey guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe so that when I come on, you get notifications. Max TL24. Hey, nice to see you again. Welcome back. But yeah, subscribe, comment. These comments and stuff go away after I get off here, and I've tried to figure out how I could see them afterward, but I can't. So I'm trying to interact. My goodness, trying to interact with you all while you're on here. No, feelings aren't an illusion. We have to allow our feelings in. As an Aquarius, when I was younger, like for instance, and I hate to bring this up, Mom, I love you, may you rest in peace, but my granddaddy passed away, and I went outside crying to tell my mom that my granddaddy passed away, and she told me to stop acting stupid and shut up. So when I was younger, my feelings, they didn't care about my feelings, so I learned to shut down and just deal with my own self and to work on and heal my own self. But God worked with me. God Divine Source worked with me for 3 years, and I was nothing but a blubbering mess because I shut those feelings out and I just moved forward like a robot. So I don't suggest doing that. Okay, what? As to me, I can understand that. Because the one I wanted to be with, after everything I did, chose a family member over me, and that hurt. It really stabbed me in the heart. It hurt. But you got to pick yourself back up. And as to me, focus on you, because the more you love you, the more you focus on you, the more you do things that make you happy, the more alignment you get with, love. You have to love you. Work on loving you. Like, I don't know what you can do, but for me, I bought myself flowers. I took myself out to dinner. You know what I mean? Treat yourself the same as you would want someone else to treat you. And it puts you more in alignment with your partner. And it may not end up being the partner that you think, but it may end up being somebody that's even better. I'm doing good, Max Steele. How are you doing? Concerning, it's okay. Don't be sorry. It built character. It built me. It made me stronger, and it gave me a lot of experience and a lot of intelligence. I learned a lot. It hurts. I ain't gonna lie. It hurts, but I'm coming to a place of acceptance. It's not the first time family members have taken somebody from me. So, I mean, I've got a sister that's married to one of my ex-boyfriends. I've got the one who's with the guy that I was in love with. That's the second one that she took. So, it wasn't for me. It's okay. Yeah, I loved my granddaddy. He was spunky though, buddy. He chased me around the kitchen table with his crutches one day. But I still loved him. Yeah. Next till I have 5 kids. 3 boys and a set of twin girls. And they're not all in my life. Like, my oldest, we don't talk very often, but I love him regardless of where he's at and what he's doing. My second oldest, we're pretty close. My youngest boy, he's a Marine, so he's gone. You know what I mean? He's away a lot. We don't talk much. And then my twin girls, we're pretty close. My mom went through a lot. As well as me, she also went through the beatings and the put downs, and she had a very painful life, and I guess over time it made her bitter. Yeah. I walked in the house one day, and I don't know, she was being hateful, and I kind of, Sasa, kids, get down. I kind of looked at her, and I asked her, I was like, Mom, why are you always like that? Like, why do you always act like that? And she actually told me that we did that to her. And I don't know. I mean, I never, like, I idolized my mom. But I kind of looked at her, and I just kind of told her, that's the biggest cop out I've ever heard. She didn't say anything back, surprisingly, but yeah. I love my mother. No matter how hard it was, I love my mother. But she was with a lot of abusive men. And I mean physically abusive men. And my stepdad here, he treated her really well. But I remember, well, I guess I actually blocked it, but it came back as a dream. Me being in my nightgown when I was just a little kid, and watching a man, standing out in the yard in my nightgown, watching a man beat the hell out of my mother. He actually broke her jaw, and she had to have it wired. See you later, Max Steel 24. Have a good day. Be careful. Yeah, you don't forget concerning. You don't. You don't ever forget. But you do forgive, and you don't forgive for them. You forgive for you, because it releases you. Because while you're angry with them, that's just pouring poison into your body. You know what I mean? Why drink someone else's poison? You forgive for yourself. It releases you. It was. It was very tough. I had a very traumatic childhood, but, they never broke my spirit. I think that's what made them so mad, because they might have broke my self-confidence and my self-esteem, but they never broke my spirit, and I've always been a helper. Like, even when I was little, I wanted to help people. I wanted to be there for people. People have always come to me for guidance, and, when they were going through something, they've always come to me to talk to me. And I have a lot of people jealous and envious of the gift that I have. But we can all do it. Like, we can all tap in. You just gotta quiet your mind. You gotta open your mind up to more than what society tells you is out there. And, you gotta get quiet. You gotta listen to yourself. It doesn't come like when I'm channeling, it doesn't come like somebody talking in my ear or even a whisper. It comes in a thought. It's just a thought that I have, and I trust myself. I didn't always. I had some things that were going on in my house, and things were getting thrown around my bathroom upstairs, and there was nobody upstairs. It's okay. It's okay. Things were getting thrown around in my bathroom, and I actually contacted like the preacher of the church that I used to go to, and yeah, it was freaking us out so bad. Like, we weren't even staying in the house. at night. We would stay in my car and talk and chat and jam to music all night long, and then go in the house during the day. And I was going down the steps one day, and I heard in my head, it was the first time I'd ever heard anything in my head. I heard in my head, it's your inner demons. Because even fighting and all of that, you can create a ball of energy that can create demons. It can create them as well as not. Sassicus Lucas, get off that counter. Get down. Thank you. And as that energy is created, you can also extinguish and get rid of that energy. But anyway, I heard that in my head, and I was talking to my preacher about it. And he actually told me, he said, you have naturally the gift of hearing, speaking, knowing. And that's something as a priest that I've been trying to develop for years. And that's when I started accepting, the thoughts that come in my head, even if they don't make sense to me, they make sense to somebody else. So, yeah. Sounds like you're getting squirt started. Yes, we can all tap in. Yes, I seen my first ghost when I was a kid. And it scared the crap out of me. I mean, it scared the crap out of me. But it's been like my whole childhood. Like I saw things like that. And I watched my mom dream about things, and I watched them happen. She would tell us, and I'd watch them happen. So I grew up very open-minded. Oh, yeah. Dad's got pups in there, and they're gated in the room because they're just pups. And my cat running around, every time they see my cat, they get mad. So they start, barking and stuff. And I think he's doing it on purpose. Aren't you, Sassicus? He's doing it on purpose. He's wired up. He's running around the house like a chicken with its head cut off. Wired to the T. Hold on. Here you go. Say hi. Say hi. So that's me. Hey, that's mostly me in there. Hey, I'm Squirt. I'm Squirt. Yes, I'm Squirt. Yes. What is that? What is that? Oh, now Dick's gonna start. Dick won't let me pick her up. She's mad because I got Squirt. Yes. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, baby. I know. He's teasing you, isn't he? Yes, he's teasing you. Yes, I know. I know. Now look, see? Now I got you. He's laying down. He's teasing you. I know. Yes. Maybe one day your sister will let me pick her up. Huh? Yeah, you're all right. You're all right. Yes. Yeah, she's adorable. And Dad's got her daddy in there. Her daddy stays with him all the time. He's attached to his hip. Yeah, they're adorable. I wish Dig would let me pick her up, but she won't. What's she doing, baby? Why are you shaking? Why are you shaking? You excited? You excited? Yes. Yes. You're excited. Oh, you know. Saska's being mean, ain't he? Yeah, he's teasing you. Look, I can't believe he's laying down now. Yeah, he's laying down now that I got you. All right, you gotta go back. Yes. I've kind of got Squirt spoiled. Now they're gonna fight with each other because Dig Dig's mad that Squirt was out. But if Dig Dig would let me pick her up, she'd be out too. But I'm giving her time. I'm not pushing myself on her. She'll get to know me. Anyway, okay, guys. Who wants to ask a question? I can't believe we've already been on here almost an hour and a half. I'll see you again, Esme. You take care of yourself. And be careful today. Go do something special for yourself. Concerning, are you still in here? Bobby, yeah, you will, but don't focus on it. If you continue to focus on it, you allow God, divine source, to move things around to let them come in. Okay, so if there's something you're wanting, think about it. If you want it, think about it, but then take your mind off of it and put it on something else, and it'll come in easier that way. Your phone blacked out. Yeah, mine's been acting crazy here lately too. I don't know if it's planet alignments or what. My iPhone does that all the time. It'll say 100%, and I'll go to get on it, and it'll just go black. It's also energy. Energy can do that too. Yeah, mine says 95 right now, but if I go to do something on it, it'll end up shutting off on me. It could be the energy around you. Usually it's good energy, yeah. Also, sometimes your ancestors and stuff can affect, like your lights will flicker, and they'll get your attention with like your phones, your computers, because they can come through that kind of electronical stuff. But you gotta be careful too, because not only them. Do that cleanse like I recommend it. Oh, that is so cool, concerning. That is so cool. Like, I have tiger's eye. It's a little bone. But, tiger's eye, the Aquarius crystal stone. Mm. And then I have rose quartz to bring in love and healing and, compassion. And amethyst, that's protection. Tapped into intuition. That's my stone too. Tiger's eye and amethyst. And then I've got my obsidian in something because it was breaking apart. I had it in my pocket of my jacket and it was breaking apart because it's so soft. But that, absorbs negative energy. I don't have my selenite. I don't know if it's in the car or if it's at storage. What? Talking about saliva? Yeah, I like tiger's eye. And I like tigers, so tiger's eye really fits. Mm. What kind of crystals around the bed concerning? I'm not ready for winter. I don't. No, there. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean the white crystal that should be like cleansing. Is it rock crystal or is it clear quartz? Is it rock quartz or clear quartz? Clear quartz, you can ask that to be any crystal, right? So you could put the intention into that crystal of protection. Because clear quartz, if the sun shines through it, you can see a rainbow. And that represents all the colors. So you can ask a clear quartz to take the place of any crystal that you want. Put that intention into it. Concerning, did you want to do a question? I have that problem too right now. Because mine's like, I'm visiting my stepdad. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'm kind of homeless right now. So I'm visiting with my stepdad and my kids and stuff, trying to figure out, what I want to do, where I want to go next. Because I've spent my life like taking care of other people and doing for other people and putting other people first. So, kind of want to put me first for a while and like traveling. Because I never really did that. You know what I mean? So just kind of traveling around. But winter is about to hit, and I hate driving in the winter. I can, but I hate it. So, well, dislike it. Thank you. Hate's a strong word. I dislike it. So, I want to be settled somewhere by then. But I'm just giving myself permission to be free. But I've been in beds that do that. And this one sinks down. So, like, my whole body sinks. But yes, they are. I know. Thank you. I'm always taken care of. I just have to trust that. And, sometimes it's a little hard. Sometimes I gotta get myself regrounded and, just allow to happen what happens, because he takes me where I'm supposed to be. I go where I'm supposed to, and people that are supposed to come to me come to me. So this is twice in a year. I trusted somebody after my ex did what he did and decided he was going to choose my brother's ex-wife. I trusted somebody else who I shouldn't have trusted, because I kept telling him that if I moved to that spot that I was going to end up homeless, and he kept telling me I was delusional and crazy. And so the first thing I did when my ex hurt me was I was like, all right, fine, I'll take your offer. So I went, and it was to get out of my dad's place, because my brother was he just treated me like shit. Everything that I did for him and for us and for our home, it just, he said he appreciated it, but he didn't show it in his actions. But anyway, to get out of there, someone had, found me a place to go. Like, I went and stayed with the cousin, but then supposedly they kicked me out because of me talking about God. So I ended up homeless. And that was for almost a month. And then someone else took me in, and I was taking care of his ex-wife for him because he was facing jail time. And I took care of her. I found out some things that were going on that shouldn't have been, and I stood up for her and advocated for her. But in the meantime, the kids, he ended up going to jail. The kids ended up moving back in, and they kicked me out on the street. So that's why I'm on the street. Me and Sask asked me to go of it. Like, the first time, like, I took those plastic floatable storage things, and I put 2 small ones in my front, and I had a kitchen, going on, having all my kitchen stuff in it. And then in the back, I had another big one that had my clothes in it, and I had his litter box in the trunk, and he would go to it in the morning and at night. And I had blankets and pillow and stuff, and we did fine until my blower motor on my car went out. So I didn't have, it was still kind of cold, and I didn't have heat. But then, I gave it to God. Like, I literally let go of the steering wheel. I was like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be here. I don't know where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do. And then this person walked up to me the next day. This guy walked up to me the next day, and he needed somebody, to help him take care of his ex-wife. So I did. And then his girlfriend broke up with him, and he slit his wrist, and everything just went to hell in a handbasket. And then he went to jail, and his kids kicked me out. So, but I'm going to be okay. I always am. I'm a survivor. I've always survived. I've been taking care of myself since I was young. Well, that's, people sometimes they're selfish. They were sleeping on the couch, and he had given me the bedroom. So when they started staying, they were sleeping on the couch, and literally, honestly, they needed a place to sleep. I didn't fight them. I just packed everything in trash bags and left. Even my laptop, I threw it in a trash bag and left. Which I've had people tell me that I could have stayed for 30 days. I could have fought it and all that. But why? Why? Because they just would have made my life miserable. Yeah, he doesn't give us more than we can handle. And things weren't built correctly, you know what I mean? I was putting others ahead of me again. So, you know, I had to learn that lesson. Even though it wasn't a lover, I was still putting others above me. So, others' wants, others' needs above my own. So, which I loved the woman to death. She was an Aquarius too. And I loved her to death. And you know, she kind of was going into the dementia. And she would tell the same stories over and over again. But I still loved it. Like, I loved talking to her. I would spend hours back there talking to her. And always made sure she had what she needed. And I don't regret it. I got to spend that time with her. Saskis went in there. The puppy hasn't seen him yet. I am. But I don't know. Like, I don't know it because I'm such a good person. People just think I'm naive, and I think a lot of people do. But I'm cloaked. Like, God divine cloaks me. You know, I throw out that innocent, you know, vibe or whatever, and that blonde vibe, you know what I mean? Nothing against the blondes, but true, they take me as, you know, it's my weakness, my love, my strength, you know, my caring, loving heart is a sign of weakness, and they take advantage of it. But they think I don't see it, but I see it. I don't know. I just believe people deserve second chances, sometimes third. Thank you, concerning. I wish the same for you. It was more about me figuring out who I was and to love myself unconditionally, no matter what, no matter, you know, I wasn't always a good person. And when I was younger, like, my morals weren't all that great, but you know, I gained the morals that I saw around me. But you know, I slowly changed that and changed, and you know, there are things that I wish that I could take back, but I can't. But I've learned from them, and you know, I've become a different person because of those things. You're welcome. Did you want to ask the cards a question concerning? I think you're the only one left in here now. It's 111. One person in here, 11 likes. So 111, that's again collaboration, getting back in your passions. Fire, it's also new beginnings. And it's, you know, triple on the new beginnings. More power to it because there's 3. It is, but I don't believe in mistakes concerning. There's no such thing as a mistake, because if you'd have known the outcome prior to it, you wouldn't have done it. Thank you. I appreciate that concerning. Yeah, I appreciate that. Did you want to ask the cards a question? I love all people, all walks, all genders, you know, no matter what they've done, no matter what they do, you know what I mean? Like, I just unconditionally love people because I see their wounds, you know? I see the place they're actually coming from, but I also see their potential, and a lot of people don't see their own potential. Okay, what do you want to ask the question? Well, I mean, what do you want to ask the cards? What question do you want to ask the cards? let's see. We're going to have to, well, we're going to ask it in the way you're going to ask it, but also work on what I was saying about that, okay? I mean, I have a dark side too. I could be a real beach if I wanted to be, but I don't like that. I don't like being that way. And I had someone that tried to push me to be that way, but it's just not me. Now, I'll stand up for myself. Don't get that wrong. That's different. You know what I mean? I will definitely stand up for myself, but to just be that way with everybody, I can't do that. That's not me. Well, congratulations for doing that. See, so that shows that you are working with yourself. You are trying to become a better you. Not better than anybody else, but a better you. And that's what I do. I strive to be a better me every day. I'm not better than anyone. I've made mistakes too, as they call them mistakes. I call them stepping stones, but congratulations. I'm proud of you. If you ain't heard anybody say that, I'm proud of you. It takes a lot. Okay. Let me go back to your question. Will concerning's alter ego or bad side ever come back? What do you got to tell him about that? What do you want to tell him about that? What do you want to tell concerning about the alter ego coming back? And that alter ego is just there to protect you. You know that, right? It's just trying to protect you because of what you've been through. You're welcome. It's a shadow side of you that you're not addressing. Before I even get started, that's what they told me. It's a shadow side of you that you're not addressing. There's wounds there somewhere that you're not addressing. You're pushing them down. So they're setting in your subconscious and they're coming out to play in your life. You weren't weak and innocent. You were just innocent. And we can't unsee the things that we see. You know what I mean? Once seen, we can't unsee them. Your alter ego, you have anger, pent up anger, and you're covering it. You're covering it with overgiving. Yeah, that's what they're telling me. You're covering it with overgiving. You need to look at the wounds from your past. You need to look at things that made you angry and hurt you in the past. Left you feeling, like you didn't belong and left you hurt. You need to look at that and you need to work through that. Will concerning's alter ego ever come back? What do you want to tell him about that? One cord out, one cord under. What do you want to tell him about that? No. One card out, one card under. One card out, one card under. What do you want to tell him? You gotta tell the deck what it needs to do. And this one likes to give me a hard time sometimes. One card out, one card under. What do you want to tell concerning about the alter ego? my goodness, they will not listen to me. Hold on a minute. My spirit guides have a sense of humor. What do you want to tell concerning about his alter ego? Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same message that I just got, and I can't show. You're healing. You're healing something in your subconscious. That's why it's been coming out. It's been slow and steady. You've been slowly working on it. But you're planting the seeds of healing. So you need to go within. And you need to be patient with yourself too, because this is my slow night. You know what I mean? This is the slowest night in the deck. I like to call him the king who forgot his crown. So he's on his way to you, and he stops off at the bar or stops off to go fishing or swimming, gets sidetracked, takes him a while to get there, and right before he gets there, he realizes he forgot his crown, so he's got to go all the way back and take the journey all the way back and then all the way back again. So you got to be really patient with yourself. This is a slow and steady process, and it's not something that's going to be fixed overnight. You've got to be patient with yourself. It's like an onion. All these wounds and all this pain, all this anger and everything has built up over time. Different things have triggered it, and it's built up over time. So one, you have to admit that you have it. You can't keep suppressing it, because as long as you keep suppressing it, it's going to play out in your life. It's going to play out with your friends, your family, your job, everything. Everything's going to bring that anger back out. It's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to keep it submerged. It's going to blow up. You're going to blow up. So you need to work with that anger. You need to work on healing it and transmuting it. You know what I mean? First of all, the things that happened to you as a child has no reflection on you, okay? It has nothing to do with who you are. You've always been worthy. You were worthy from the day you were born. It's just all these things that people have done to you has made you feel like you weren't, and you feeling displaced and out of place and not good enough has made you very angry. It's made you very upset, the way people have treated you. You know what I mean? And so you need to understand that was their own wounds. They were projecting that onto you. That had nothing to do with you. They didn't want to face their own wounds. So instead of facing them, they projected them onto you. So it had nothing to do with you. And second, you need to forgive. You need to forgive. And you may have said that you have, but somewhere deep inside of you, you're still holding on to it. You're still holding on to it somewhere. And maybe it's just that you need to know that it has nothing to do with you. The way that they treated you is more about how they felt about themselves rather than how they felt about you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like an onion. So you're going to heal some of it. Like you're going to go back to a past one. You're going to work through that. You're going to heal some of that. And then you're going to go to another past one, or however it is, however it played out in your life with whatever family members, friends, whatever. And eventually you will get to the source of it. And I can tell you what the source of it is, but it's not gonna help you, because you need to know why it was there. Like I've explained to you why, because that was their own projections onto you. But I have found out, for me, the source of it was, there was never ever anything wrong with me. I've always been perfect. You know what I mean? Have I made what they call mistakes, stepping stones? Yes. But I mean, you learn. When you're a kid, you learn to crawl, you learn to walk. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn through experience. So you're never in the wrong place at the wrong time. And our family, I love them. I love my family. But the family that you're chosen to be born into, and you've chose before you came here, you made a contract and you chose to be born into this family. That family was meant to trigger the wounds and the insecurities in you so that you could work through them. So, okay, so I'm going to tell you something. And are you there? I just said I was reconnecting. I'm going to tell you something, and I don't talk to many people about this, okay? Okay, so back when my girl's father, my twin's father, stabbed me in between my heart and my lungs, I was having what I call daymares and nightmares. And I decided to go to a psychiatrist, and he hypnotized me. And we went through the whole thing of him stabbing me while I was driving. And, you know, he was actually shocked that he was able to hypnotize me so quickly, because he used a cross with cobblestone path, and, you know, he was able to take me under pretty easy. And he told me that I had the most vivid mind of anyone that he'd ever come across. But he put me as okay, so I was 29 when it happened. So he put me as my 30-year-old self in the back seat watching it happen to my 29-year-old self, so I could disassociate from it actually being me that it happened to. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't long after I had been seeing him, he wanted to go into the rapes and stuff, and I didn't want to go there. Plus, the guy that I was seeing was throwing a fit because it cost money for me to go. And even though his insurance eventually paid for it, the guy I was with was impatient. You know what I mean? So I stopped going, acted like I was fine, and stopped going. But point of the matter is, one day I was sitting at the house, and I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I started hearing this hissing voice in my head, like angry, very angry, hissing at me, and like the S's would be long when it would come out. Like if they said the word yes, it would be like yes. You know, I could feel anger behind it. And so I called my psychiatrist because it freaked me the hell out. And that's when he told me that I had another part of myself that, because of everything that I had been through since I was a child, I had another part of myself that was coming out to protect me, because I was so vulnerable and what you call weak, which is innocent, when I was younger. And there were spaces in time, like I had noticed, like there was a picture album I wanted to set up with my kids, and there was actually 3 of them, and I kept wanting to set them up and wanting to set them up, but you know, I never did. And then I went to go set them up one day, and they were already done. I had already done it, and I don't remember doing it. And that's why, because I had another person coming out of the inside of me, another me coming out of the inside of me to protect me. And I decided that right there and then I didn't want that happening. You know what I mean? I didn't want someone else to have to come out of me to protect me. So I started standing up for myself. So, and I've not had that experience since. So it could be something like that. You know what I mean? Like you have another part of yourself that is coming out to protect you. I had to learn healthy boundaries. I had to learn when to say no and to stick to it. You know, I had to learn not to let people disrespect me, to stand up for myself. And if they continue to disrespect me, I had to learn to walk away. Even if it hurt, I had to learn to walk away. So But I hope that helps you in some way. It's not weak. You weren't weak. I don't want you to look at yourself as weak. You were innocent. You know what I mean? Trying to struggle and fight with all these feelings and emotions of, the way that you were treated. And that's normal. It's normal to feel those things, but instead of feeling them, you suppress them. You're welcome. Yeah, the more we suppress, the more play in our life. And you had anger that you weren't dealing with, so there was a lot of things playing out in your life that was bringing that anger to the forefront so you could work through it. Life has taught me to be wise. I've been through a lot. Oh, I've had a lot of traumas. A lot I had to work through. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you came on here. You know what I mean? Because we don't know if we don't ask. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with asking. But is there anybody else on here that would, like to ask a question? I'm glad you came on. Don't be afraid of it concerning, embrace it. Embrace it, love it, nurture it, care for it, because all it is it's the child within you that just wanted to be loved and nurtured and cared for that wasn't. You know what I mean? You have to learn to be your own mother and your own father. You have to learn to nurture yourself and set healthy boundaries for yourself and not allow people to treat you like that. It's not even a question. Don't allow it. Don't allow the disrespect. That's your inner child crying out for help. You know what I mean? It's crying out because it didn't have the love and the nurturing and caring and attention that it needed. So it's asking for you to do that for it. No one can give you that. Not even your wife can give you that. You have to give that to yourself. I mean, she can be loving and caring and nurturing, but you're still going to feel a void until you start giving it to yourself and realizing that you've always been enough. Because she can complement who you already are, but she can't complete you. And same goes for you. You can't complete her. She's already complete. You can complement and inspire who she already is. Okay, well, if you don't want that to come back out, then you need to work on those. You need to work on those anger issues and trust issues that you have within yourself. Because, okay, so your wife doesn't trust you, then somewhere inside of you don't trust you. You don't trust yourself to make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? You don't trust yourself. So work on your trust issues, and then the trust can be formed again between you two. And work on your anger issues, because you suppressing it is causing them out more. Like somebody telling you all the time they don't trust you, that's gonna bring up anger. You know what I mean? That's gonna bring up pain. That's gonna bring up hurt. And it's meant to bring it up because it's meant to trigger you, for you to go look within and figure out why those issues are there. Like mine was letting people disrespect me. Like my sister used to get up in my face and scream at me in my face, like very disrespectful. And I don't know, after that thing where, you know, something else was protecting me, I just she was screaming at me one day and I just looked at her and I was like, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. And she just, her jaw dropped. She didn't know what to say. Like I changed the energy. It was annoying. But the frustration is hidden anger. You know what I mean? You're suppressing it. It's okay to go back and think about, like, you were talking about your mom, thinking about the things like your mom did that made you angry. It's okay to go back to that and feel that anger. You need to let it out. You need to purge it. Instead of suppressing it, you need to purge it. You need to allow yourself to feel it, feel through it. And I mean, go out in the middle of the woods and scream top of your lungs if you need to, but you need to get it out. You know what I'm saying? You need to stop suppressing it. You need to get it out. And then you'll feel better. Just, you know, keep doing it because it's still buried. And like I said, you need to think about it like the things that happen, like if it's your mom, we're going to use your mom for an example. If it's your mom, the things that happened that made you angry, the things where she just, you felt disrespected and not cared for, you got to remember it's a repeated pattern. We're here breaking cycles. We're here breaking patterns. So she went through that in life too. And she took others on as her own. They projected it on her, and then she projected it on you rather than breaking the cycle. I don't know. Look up and see some things that you can do to work with, you know, the anger, work with the shadow side. It's telling you that you're healing. It's slow and steady, but you are healing. You may not think that you've done a lot of healing, but you've done more healing than you think. And you're going to continue to do it. But that's because, okay, yeah, they did betray you, and I've had a lot of people that's betrayed me. I've had family, I've had friends, you know, people that I dearly, dearly love, lovers. You know, I've even had lovers who have run lies about me because, you know, they had to win at all costs or feel like they did. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, you were born into that family because of a past life. And it's not just your past life, you're also working through karma for your ancestors. So you were the one chosen to break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? And so before we come here, we agreed to be born into this family. And I hate to say that we agree to this, but we do because we want to break the cycle. We want to be the ones that come and break the cycle and show the world the truth. You know what I'm saying? So you were already assigned to that family. That family was put there to betray you. So you could work through these karmic energies, these karmic ties, and break these cycles. And just because they're your birth family doesn't mean they're your soul family. like I said before, some people are there for a reason, for a season only. And I've walked away from my family. Several times I've walked away from them when I felt disrespected. And I've come back and seen if anything had changed. And if it didn't, I've walked away again. You can't be afraid to walk away from those who treat you like that. Because as long as you stay, you're sending them a message that you're going to keep allowing it. Thomas, welcome in. We're talking about trauma wounds and suppressing our anger and our emotions to a point where it starts playing out in our relationships, friendships, partners, jobs, in our life, so that we can see it, see what what's triggering us, and work on ourselves. I did a reading at the beginning. It was very long, but I did a reading at the beginning. Everything that happens around us is meant, anything that triggers us is meant for us to look inside and see where it started. Like the pain of the abandonment, the trust issues, the disrespect, mostly that we've had growing up. I've noticed that a lot of it's come from childhood. It has for me. It was something I had to work through childhood. Thomas, do you want to ask a question? I'm doing a one question, one card on the top, one card out, one card on the bottom reading, if you want, for anyone that comes in. Do you just want me to ask God, divine source, spirit, what you need to hear yourself? I mean, I just did a reading for what needs to hear, but I can do one with just you. What you need to hear right now. Okay, I can do that. Clear old energy, bring in new energy, please. What does Thomas McDonald need to hear right now? This is the most important message he needs to hear right now. One card out, one card under. Okay, so we got Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so what you need to hear right now is you've had your foot stuck in the wheel. You've not been allowing the wheel to move. I don't know why. Like, maybe you've been having a problem trusting yourself, believing in yourself. But you've kept your foot, I can speak, your foot in the wheel. And it's also surrounded by fixed signs. So you have, what is it? Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So they may play a role in your life somewhere. There's also fixed signs, being stubborn, being stuck, feeling stuck. But you're not going to be stuck, because there's something coming in. It's coming in fast. It's going to be a truth. And this did come out in the reading. This one didn't, but this one did. There's going to be a truth that's going to be rushing forward. You're going to get clarity. Something's coming in. It could be a message that's going to bring you clarity and allow you to cut out whatever it is that has been stopping you. But getting the wheel also is saying the wheel is getting ready to turn. It's getting ready to move. So if things were stuck and stagnant, they're going to move forward. And it's probably going to be after whatever's coming in comes in. Very fast-paced and very truthful. It's going to give you clarity. Could be somebody rushing towards you with a message too. But you're going to cut something out with the sword. There's something you're going to cut out of your life, whether it's a thought pattern, a negative thought pattern, or a person, or a job, or something around you, a friendship, whatever. God's source don't tell me what it is you're cutting out. It just tells me that there's going to be something you're cutting out after you receive this. You're welcome. Not a problem. You're going to go on a new journey. The wheel's going to move, and you're going to decide to go on a new journey and do something different. And your ships are coming in. So that's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? You're welcome. I wish you the best. Just be patient, okay? It's coming. And when it does come, it's going to come fast. Probably faster than you expected. Okay. All right. Well, good night. Sweet dreams. I wish you a peaceful rest. I know I have that problem with it all the time too. It's constantly changing my words, especially when I call my daughter Bree. It changes it to bro all the time. I don't say bye. Later. Bye's too formal. But I'll see you later. I'm sure you'll be back. Too permanent, not formal. Too permanent. And I like that word. Yeah, that'll work. I always say later, but yeah, farewell or even on a phone call when I hang up, I say later. Well, concerning, it looks like it's just you and me again. We had some people pop in. A couple in the background that didn't speak. But all right. Well, yeah, I'm getting ready to get off of here too. So, but it's been nice. I've enjoyed, hanging out and just talking. But I love that. I don't go out much, so I love connecting with people. Yes. See you soon. That works too. Right. Exactly. My great grandmother, she never said bye to anyone. She went into the hospital one day to have breast surgery. And before she left, she told everybody goodbye. And she actually died on the operating table. So she knew. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. But you have a nice day. I'm going to get off of here, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I might do all zodiac sign shorts. I've been doing that too if you want to check them out. Because then you have your zodiac for each of it too. So pretty much just about everyone that I've done, I've tried to do all zodiacs for. It was my great grandmother. She's my godmother. I remember her vaguely. I was really little when that happened. But, okay. All right. I love you all. I'm going to go. Be easy on yourselves and be patient with yourselves. And I'll talk to you later. Later. You're welcome. Later.